about you is that you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for yet another one. Like last year, this year, I was gonna do it last night, but I'm a little tired, so I said, you know what, let's do it tomorrow because we got a big week coming up. So tonight we are going to go over. I want to grade individually each draft pick, and then I want to grade the UDFAs because if you watched me on day 3. Not only did with the 125th pick with Erik Ezukanma, he was on my list as day 3 options I liked. And then there were actually a few guys who we signed as UDFAs who were on my day 3 option list that I like. So there's players here that I've watched pretty extensively, whether they're UDFA or a guy like Erik Ezukanma. I've watched I've watched Erik Ezukanma a lot. So you know what I mean? So I can, and then Kellen Deesh, before we took from Arizona State, watched a ton of them. Verone McKinley, everyone knows I was the first one in this community on Javon Holland back in like 2020. I've been watching McKinley for almost his whole Oregon career. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys in this class. I've Braylon Sanders, I've watched. Zakondre White, I'd only ever watched about like a game and a half worth of film. So I don't consider that I've watched the player. Yesterday I stayed up and I watched probably about like 2 or 3 hours worth of him yesterday. So I got a pretty good feeling of that player now, and I like it a lot. So yeah, we're gonna go a little in depth on draft grades, and I even watched Skylar Thompson just because I watch quarterbacks. So I could, all these people trying to like stir these pots, obviously never watched Skylar Thompson. So we'll talk about all this. I mean, hell, I even watched Cameron Good because we had that prospect visit with him, and people were making like Barry Jackson and stuff like that. We're making a big deal. I was like, let me check this kid out. I even watched Cameron freaking Good. I mean, I'm not, trust me, I ain't bragging about watching Cameron Good, but like, man, I watched the right guys this year. I feel like to a certain extent for us. So that's a good feeling, man. And then guys, the word on the street, even better. Check this one out. The word on the street, my friends. Mike, I tested negative today, so we're there. I took my test today, like I said I would, tested negative. The word on the streets, my friends. The word on the street is we were going running back at 102. And apparently, going even further, the word on the street is that at 102, it was going to be my boy out of Arizona State, Rachaad White. So apparently it wasn't actually going to be Tindall at 102. It was apparently going to be Rachaad White. So that's real interesting news that was where they originally wanted to go. So, man, think about that one for a second. Think about that one. Rachaad White added to this backfield would have been freaking nasty. I'm still a Tindall fan. We're good. I'm still a Tindall fan. I'm liking it. So, but that's what the word on the street is. The guy who ended up going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a guy who was one of my man crushes at the running back position, Rachaad White, my RB4, that was actually their plan at 102. And that's apparently, we're going to look over the media availabilities. That's apparently who Mike McDaniel fell out of his chair for. right? Like when they were joking around the player that they were looking at. So you know what? Hey, if it would have been Leo Chanel, Channing Tindall, or Rashad White, I would have been happy with any one of those picks. So, it would have been fine with me, either one of those guys. I wouldn't have complained. Rashad White's a beast, and he's going to be a beast at this level. So, um, so what we're going to do tonight is obviously, like I said, I'm going to go over every single draft pick, and I'm going to go into a lot of these UDFAs. We're going to grade them out. I'm going to give you a little in depth. Furthermore, I'm going to do some prospect profiles. I'm going to start this week. All right. You're going to get your Channing Tindall, and you're going to get an Erik Ezukanma. I'm going to do his this week too. So you're going to get our prospect profile for a number 102 and a number 125 pick. That's going to include all 22 footage, as well as it's going to include a obviously in-depth scouting report from me, and just basically overall, what we can do with these guys. So we're going to do all that. And then after that, I'm going to start, I'm going to do one on Kellen Deesh. I'm going to do one on Zakondre White. I'm going to do one probably on Rowan McKinley. I might have Ball Game join me for the McKinley one. And then, you'll see why I'm pausing on Cameron Good and Skylar Thompson and a couple other guys here. But right now, as it stands, you can pretty much count on a Channing Tindall prospect profile. You can You can basically expect one for obviously Erik Ezukanma. You can obviously expect one for Zakondre White. Don't worry, I'll give you one, and then I'll give you one for Kellen Deesh, and I'll give you one for who else did I say? I just said someone too. Anyways, I think I'm at like 5. I'm gonna do for you right now, at least. So, Veron McKinley, obviously. So those are the ones I'm gonna do for you. So, and you know what? Like, I'm patting myself on the back, and at least in the media here or whatever, I think I was the only one who had, other than obviously there's people in the chat who have watched the kid, you know, when you talk about like media personalities or people covering the draft for the Dolphins, I was the only one who had Ezukanma on my radar. So it's pretty nice. If I dropped that list at 8:30 in the morning on day 3, and then I posted it for you guys when we started here. So, me and my viewers are informed because I know there were viewers who had been watching them too. So I love it, man. I love it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. A lot of people are like, who? And me and some of my viewers were like, yeah, we know who that is. We know who that is. Now, the reason why I said I'm lukewarm on the pick was because there were other guys on the board I would have taken over him, and I'm not necessarily even talking about wide receiver. But lukewarm doesn't mean I hate the pick. It just means there was other people I liked. But I still gave the pick actually a really good grade. So, um, you know, you know what we'll do? We're gonna start off. We'll grade the class, and then we'll get in to the media availabilities. And then, guys, if you are not on Twitter, I want to show you a video. It's a year progress video of Tua Tagovailoa, and it was also released by a letter from Perform that I want to read to you guys. All right. So yeah, Khalil Shakir did, and Buffalo traded up for Khalil Shakir. It was disgusting, bro. Matt Araiza made me sick going to Buffalo in that weather. Matt Araiza's leg in that weather. That is a big game changer for them. That's a big game changer for them. So, but let's do this. Let's get in. We're gonna get into the grades. Then I want to get into the media availabilities. And then after that, let's go ahead and we'll go and we'll go ahead and we'll look at that Tua footage, because if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Just that's nothing else to it. So let's get into this. Shout out to each and every one of you. I'm in a good mood, man. The daughter's birthday is tomorrow. She's excited. Taking her to Chuck E. Cheese. We got this huge day planned for her. Then we got her big birthday party is on the weekend. So it's just it's good vibes, man. That's my baby. My 4-year-old is the absolute like light of my eyes. I love my I love my other daughter, but there's just something different when, it's the first always holds a special little corner just for being the first. So I'm super stoked for my girl's birthday tomorrow, especially because, her last, she can be 4, and her last couple birthdays, she's had to put up with COVID, right? And it's been, people think I get pissed off about people on Twitter and YouTube when the fact of the matter is I don't care about insignificant people. All right. Like I care people about who's jealous of me, who want my spot. I don't care about those type of people. All right. People want to talk crap about me, but can never be me and want to be me. I don't care about those people. What I care about are actually people who matter to me. Like, I don't know, my subs, my friends in this community, but also my family. And when people I care about get affected, like my daughter having to go basically the last 2 years without having a real birthday party because of COVID, just with how the lockdowns have timed out with her. I'm really super excited for this week, man, to celebrate her birthday. It's gonna be a real exciting time, man. So, yeah, that's enough of that. Let's get into this. Let's get into the grades for the Miami Dolphins. Um, yeah, here we go. So let's start off with the obvious. Uh, at number 102, let's start off with Channing Tindall. Um, you know, like I said, if you would have gone Leo Chanel, it's probably who I would have taken here, and that would have been an A plus. But it's still an A pick. I think this guy's got crazy ceiling into his game. Obviously 4-star recruit out of high school. You go back, look at his pro day, decent testing, 6'1", just a hair under 6'2", came in at about 230. His arms are just over 32 inches, actually just under 33. They're 32 and 7/8. He ran that 4.47 40 that was blazing. You had in the 2.58 20-yard shuttle, the 10-yard split of 1.52. He had a vert of 42 and a 10.9 broad jump. And then on his pro day, he had a 4.18 short shuttle and a 7.25 3-cone. He's just an athletic freak. I mean, he's just explosive on film. He pops off. Got great pursuit and chase speed, kind of similar to what Jerome Baker has. And he's really stout in the run game, like his ability to anticipate his instincts, but he just it's crazy. Like he's just there. He's there meeting a ball carrier before they can even make a cut. You know what I mean? Like it's just and the nose for the football he has. He's constant wherever the ball is, you can find him sniffing around as a player on the field. So he's got downhill speed and he plays downhill really well. Obviously he's a crazy effective blitzer. He was 4th on the team in sacks last year. And here's the thing. The guy is just a hard worker, puts his head down. Whatever the coaches ask for him to do, he does it. He was a role player. And he averaged under 32 snaps per game. So, you just look at him. Now, some issues he does have. I want people to realize this, okay? His instincts and anticipation aren't as good against the pass that they are against the run. Um, you know, he can be a little over aggressive and lunge. That's another issue he has. But you see him. I've seen him. You've seen obviously examples of him play the play action well, but more often than not, you see him overbite on play action, and that can really be an issue with him. I mean, the guy had the most coverage snaps he's ever had as a defender this year, and he had no pass breakups or interceptions. But by no means is he bad in coverage. I'm not saying that, but I know people try to say, well, the PFF grade. See, this is why you can't look at the PFF grade. You got to watch the film so you learn the context. This is the exact reason why I get mad at people who either just watch highlights, because I can make any player look good in a 3 or 4 minute highlight package. When you watch highlights and formulate an opinion, when you use some other person's opinion, whether you see them on ESPN or whatever the case may be, and that automatically becomes your opinion. If you don't do the homework yourself, you shouldn't really be speaking on it. That's how I feel. All right. And that's a perfect example of people come, well, it's PFF grade. Well, no, if you watch the film, you'll see. And I mean, anyone who watches this channel, they've seen the holes I've poked in PFF grades over the years. Okay. They don't give us the guideline to how they grade. They have openly admitted they don't even watch the all 22. They watch the broadcast view. And I've done work for PFF. And when you watch the broadcast view, there are definite limitations, i.e. formations before the snap, seeing where everyone's lined up, seeing how to attack, et cetera, et cetera. So you gotta ease up on that. So, but overall, he can get better. It's just, he's got to be coached up. Well, he'll get better in coverage with more reps. That is that is not a guy who can't do it. That's a guy who didn't get enough reps to get better and better at it. All right. So I think he can. I think he has a crazy athleticism to do it. I think he is a great tackler. You know what I mean? So, I think he can definitely grow he can be a starter in year 2 or year 3, 110%. 110%. Huge fan of this kid. I think Leo Chanel's a little bit more pro ready, but Channing Tindall's ceiling is high, man. It's super high. So I love the pick, and he's already really good. You know what I mean? It's just everyone has limitations. No one's perfect. There's no perfect prospect. Okay. And if there was a perfect prospect, he ain't in the 3rd round. So I like this guy, man. I really am a fan of this pick. Look at like 3rd on the team, and he didn't even register a start for Georgia. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I said. Channing Tindall at 102 is better value and a better pick than Travon Walker at number 1, and I stand by that. Okay, Channing Tindall is going in 2 or 3 years is going to be very, very good, and he's going to be a starter on this team. And he's going to be with the right coaching, he will be an impact player in year 2 or 3 with the right coaching. So I'm a fan of the pick. Love it. Love this guy. Love this kid. You know what I mean? Like guy who put up did the things he did, never got a start, never complained. And he's awesome on special teams when they asked him on kickoff a punt return. I mean, I don't know what to say. You gotta love it. Big fan of the pick. Channing Tindall, you get an A. And like I said, the only way you would have gotten an A+ was if they would have taken Leo Chanel. But that's an A pick. All right? That's an A pick. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Love it. All right. Number 125, wide receiver out of Texas Tech, Erik Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma. Just say it over and over to yourself and you'll get it. Erik Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma. See, just keep saying it and you'll eventually get it. Erik Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma. You'll get it. See? Just gotta, it's what I did with Noah Monogamy. It's all you gotta do with Erik Ezukanma. See? Erik Ezukanma. There you go. See? It'll start rolling. It'll start rolling. I'm telling you. I'll tell you. It'll roll. Or you can just be gangster and call him Easy E, which is what I'll call him. Shout out, honestly. Also, I got to shout out to Mike. I don't want to butcher your last name. Yeah, I'm already over here trying to get Erik Ezukanma down. And Mike, can I so? If I butchered it, I'm sorry, but I'm already over here trying to get Erik Ezukanma down. All right. I want to be that guy. So, I gave it a B. I didn't give it an A because there were a couple other players still on the board that I liked. But it's a solid B. And now I'm going to tell you right away, you know, he, he had as basic as a route tree as it gets. Okay, this isn't Jalen Waddle. All right, but remember, and I'm not saying he's Deebo Samuel. Deebo didn't have an extensive route tree when he came out. All right, so actually, indeed, it's not easy. It's not Ezukanma. It's actually Ezukanma. If you were to say Ezukanma, that's what it actually is. Trust me, I looked up the pronunciation, so I got it down. And I wasn't even that far off when I was pronouncing it earlier. So, he's this guy. Once he gets, once he becomes basically a non-linear route runner and he has an extensive route tree, he's gonna have it. This guy offers you a lot after the catch. We're talking about a guy that's like 6'2", 206, runs a 4.54, 259, 20-yard, a 10-yard split of 157, 36.5-inch vert, 10.6 broad jump. He had a 4.38 short shuttle. I'm just saying, man, 7.2 cone. He did 10 bench presses. He can stem and stack fairly well. He's already shown that ability. He played like, he's got obviously like pretty good length. And I mean, he measured at the combine, his arms were 33.5 inches. His wingspan is like almost 79 inches. He's got great length to his body, obviously. And he's mean. He can high point. He's a good ball tracker. And he's just strong at the catch point. So, and he's gotten better on 50-50 balls each year. So, the other thing too is he's willing to block. He's actually a decent blocker. And like I said, after the catch, he's a big play guy after the catch. He can show it. So he's going to need to clean up his route. He's going to have to become a better route runner. And then things he's going to have to also clean up, I would say his release package. His release package isn't very clean. So gonna have to clean that up. And obviously, 4.54, this guy isn't making everyone miss in space, but I'm not expecting him to be that. I think this is a very good addition. I think there's a lot that can be utilized with them. And when I was on Big O's show yesterday, he made a good point. Maybe they're trying to committee the whole Deebo role. I'm down. But I got him slotted in as wide receiver 5, right behind Hill, Waddle, Wilson, Bowden, Ezukanma, right there behind them. So, I think he'll get chances, man. I do. I really do. So I like the pick. I'm giving it a B. So again, were there other guys on the board I wanted? Sure. Like with Tindall, there was only one other guy I really wanted over him, that was Leo Chanel. Other than that, I was down for Tindall. Ezukanma, there was probably like 3 or 4 guys on the board I would have taken over him. But that's not a knock on him. That's just how I would have, preference. But I love the pick. So I'm going to give that a B. Got to give that a B. Like the pick. 224, Cameron Good, C+. I don't see more than a special teams contributor right now. Played in 37 games, 172 tackles, 36 of those were for a loss, 20.5 sacks during his time at Cal, had a couple interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, a couple fumble recoveries. Obviously, the reason why I watched him is because I remember the big deal Barry Jackson was making about him when they met with him pre-combine. Oh, sorry, not pre-combine, pre-draft. So, I think he redshirted as a freshman. He missed all but one game in 2018. You know, second team all conference selection last year. Led Cal with 9 tackles for a loss, 7.5 sacks, and a career high 5 quarterback hurries. Right now, he's a pretty good pass rusher, obviously. He's a good athlete, moves well, never takes a rep off. Pass rushing is clearly his forte, but he's had liability in coverage if there was one. Like I said Tindall needs to get better in coverage. I didn't call him a liability. That's a difference. I ain't calling Channing Tindall a liability. This guy's a liability. I just think most likely he's a special teams contributor in year one. See how it goes. I mean, it is what it is. I saw people trying to say, well, maybe he could take AVG's spot. No, stop. Okay. AVG is far more complete. This guy doesn't have the instincts AVG does and isn't as good in the run game. So, he's a guy. He's going to get on the team as a special teams contributor, and they'll try and develop him, right? On pass rush situations, they'll throw him out there, give him some snaps, and then they'll try to develop the rest of his game. Listen, I ain't mad. C+, that's not a bad grade. When we start getting to like D's, that's a bad grade. Okay. C+ is because you're a special teams contributor. We took a 224. You're a glorified UDFA. That's what it is. Okay. So I ain't hating on it. C+, whatever. If I can get special teams contributions on year one from a guy taking a 224, well, I'm down. Now, next up, Skylar Thompson, C-. See, I didn't even give him a D because I've actually watched him play on the short to intermediate level. Skylar Thompson's actually not that bad. I don't like his deep throw. I don't like his deep accuracy. That's where I'm not a fan of the guy. But the guy is he's pretty secure with the football. I just I'm not a he's a decent decision maker when you get on the first two levels. His ball placement is real spotty. You can make a throw where you're like, oh, that was nice. Make a throw and be like, what the hell? You can't hit the broadside of a barn. Rolling through his progressions, he's all right. So he's one of those guys too, because he's got the legs, right? And he knows he can move. He's one of those guys where he believes in his athleticism a little too much, where he'll basically bail out on the play too early, but before he even starts going through his progressions, and he'll just take off instead of letting the play develop and come to him, right? So not very good mechanics either, too. I think he's a career backup. That's what I think Skylar Thompson projects as. Career backup. And hey, if you're going to get a career backup at 247, I ain't going to knock that. That's what I project him as a career backup. Again, Donovan West was on the board. There were other options on the board you could have addressed. The only reason I didn't give it a D was because he's decent. Like, he's not a bad player. So, and if he's going to be our backup after Teddy leaves, he's Teddy's replacement. And you got Stievler on you got Chris Stievler on here on the roster too. So he's a camp body right now. And eventually maybe he's going to go on the practice squad probably if he doesn't get picked up. And then he's Teddy Bridgewater's replacement. That's what he would be. So, yeah, Shifty, that's a good pick for you guys. Donovan West is a beast, bro. There's a lot of guys on that line I liked. So we got one of them too, obviously. So I'm gonna give it a C, and the only reason I know it's get a D because I actually think the player is decent. But let's get into where it really matters here. Let's get into the UDFAs, okay? Let's get into the UDFAs. Kellen Deesh. If you remember, he was my OT 12, I believe. Guys, He's going to be able to compete with Eichenberg and Jackson at right tackle. This is a right tackle. I mean, he might have length issues like Eichenberg, but he's a better athlete. He moves laterally, fluid, and better than he does. Better in open space, better recovery ability, quicker feet than Eichenberg. This guy might be competing with Jackson. I'm just saying. So obviously he's got 32.25-inch arms. 6'7", 301. So he can put some weight on that frame, obviously. A 78 3/8 wingspan. The guy runs a 4.89 40 at 6'7", 301. Let's go. Crazy athlete, man. The guy is so light on his feet as a pass blocker. It's he's more better than decent at mirroring defenders. His lateral movement abilities are pretty good. He got pretty good hands, man. He got pretty good hands, good placement, knows how to reset them. Got quick recovery ability with pretty decent contact balance. And he doesn't got concrete cinder block hands, but man, you ain't swatting them away. You ain't coming through and just swatting them out of the way. It ain't happening. And he is very good at picking up IDing blitzers, loopers, stunts. He picks that up, man. So, I'm telling you, man, he's more than competent in the run game. All right. He's got enough upper body torque where he can move you and open a lane. So, the effort on every down this guy gives. He's got the motor. He's got 110% motor. Never takes a playoff, man. Never takes a playoff. Really, I think there's a couple things where it's like, sometimes you can overstep just by misjudging the athleticism and the speed of the defender trying to bend him around, but that's easily fixable. Obviously the length issue is the only thing I would hold against him. Really. Now he's not the most powerful guy in the world. But it is what it is, and he draws flags. He's drawn some flags. So, I'm just saying, I like Kellen Diesch. I think he can, I think you got a guy. He plays light on his feet. I think at worst, if he's not even a tackle, he played left tackle for Arizona. I mean, at worst, he's going to compete at that right side, or he's going to be a swing guard on this team, I think. So, I think, man, I had a 4th round grade on this guy, and we got him as a UDFA. Think about that for a second. I had a 4th round grade on this guy, and we got him as a UDFA. What does that tell you what I think? I think he's got the athleticism to move to the right side, and you can hide more length issues at the right side. So I like it. That's why they think Eichenberg might get a shot there. He's more athletic than Eichenberg. So Eichenberg was just more technically sound and fundamentally clean coming out of college than he was, but we saw how that worked out. So I'm actually a fan. I'm actually a fan of this. I'm a fan of Kellen Diesch. Fan. Kick him inside if you think the arms are an issue. That's all you got to do. And I think he'll give you more because he'll be better in open space than a guy like Eichenberg. And he's got the frame to add more weight. I mean, this guy could bulk up to 320, and he's probably not going to lose much of that light on his feet. So add another 15, 20 pounds, he'll be good. Obviously, he'll slow down a tad, but I don't think it'll be like, oh my God, so noticeable. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Kellen Diesch. Another guy, and Kellen Deesh was on my day 3 options, okay? Another guy who's on my day 3 options, Verone McKinley, man, the third. Woo, I'm giving this a B+ because I'm a favorite. I'm a fan. I was a fan of him in Oregon. But Verone McKinley, I like him, man. I like him a lot. All right, 5'10", 198. Obviously length to his body. He's only got 30 and 5'8" arms. And he ran a 4.65 at his pro day. I think he looks faster on tape. In short areas, that burst and explosiveness is so evident. It just pops. This guy, he is so good in coverage. He is so good in coverage. Like, the way he reads a quarterback's eyes, the way he anticipates throws, and the way he moves on the ball and breaks on the ball, he's just so smart and high level IQ in the passing game. Um, you know, i- the thing is, he plays bigger than he is. Now, you might see him, obviously bigger targets downfield are going to have a way with a guy who's 5'10", 198. But this guy lays the lumber. He is as violent as they come. He plays bigger than he is. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. Did you know he calls himself the General? Verone McKinley calls himself the General because, he was the leader of that defense. So, um, I'm a big fan of Verone McKinley III. I'm a big fan. I like this guy a lot, man. I really do. I think he makes the team. Just like I think Deesh makes the team, I think he makes the team. So obviously, the length and the size isn't obviously ideal, especially when you don't have like elite speed. Like you're not running like a 4.4. So and obviously with any violent player, they can whiff. And that can lead to misses. Obviously, whiffing is a miss. For those of you who don't know. So, but other than that, I like the kid a lot, man. I like the kid a lot. So I think at the next level, we got something here, and I know Holland's hyped. I think he makes the team. Shifty liked him, eh? Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan. And again, another guy. I didn't have a UDFA grade on this guy. I had a 4th round grade on McKinley. So, I mean, this is crazy value by me and by my standards. I had a 4th round grade on this guy. Crazy value. Next up, Zacondre White, who, man, I'd watched before. I'd watched a little of him before, and I was like, man, this guy cuts so explosively. And there was a couple notes I had taken, but I didn't really dive in. Right when I watch a player, I've got to watch at least 3 or 4 games on you. If I've only watched a game and a half, 2 games on you, I don't consider myself I've really watched you. So I had some preliminary notes on him, but I didn't really watch him. But I mean, you look at this guy, got crazy feet. I mean, you talk about a guy who can stop on a dime and then just go. I mean, we're talking about this guy. And again, he turns it up on the field, man. He runs like he got somewhere to go and like you owe him money. So I like him. I think he's an explosive cutter. Good vision for seeing holes and just going right through them. You see when he drops his pad level and he combines it and he gets his center of gravity low and he combines that lower body strength with that low pad level. He can get those extra yards, man. Decent receiver out of the backfield, actually a really decent blocker too. So obviously this is a guy who only had about 125 carries, and the tread on the tires is ridiculous that remains for this guy. But I like what we got here. I think he makes a team, if you want my honest opinion. Jared Dokes, I already thought you're out the door and done. I think it's even more so a realistic possibility right now. I really do. So, and one thing I would say about him, he looks to bounce it outside a little bit too much. One of those guys. We saw Balaj used to do it too, right? Just take what they give you, right? So, um, let's get next one. Who actually, I looked into this player. I wasn't able to find a lot, but I was able to take some notes from what I did see. Actually, you know what? Let's go in grade order. So I'll get to um Kahu in a second. I think let's talk about another guy who I did watch. Um, Braylon Sanders. I gave this a B minus. Braylon Sanders out of Ole Miss. Just over 6 foot, 194, redshirted senior, had over 1,400 yards in his career. Guy runs a 4.48 at 6 foot, 194. Just a crazy athlete, like just a stupid athlete. Nuts in space. If you get him in space, oh my god. And this guy's another legitimate deep threat. Tracks the ball well vertically. I think he led Power 5 with just under 23 yards per catch in 2021. You look at him, and his after his release, his package to get open. He's got good body control movement. He stems his routes very well. He can stack, good body adjustment ability for throws that aren't ideal. And he's not a body catcher. You know what I mean? He's got dependable hands, and he constantly catches away. So, I like him. I like him. I like the pick. I think this guy might make the team, man. I really actually do. You know what I mean? I think he needs to become a little bit of a better route runner. But when you add, like, you look at as an athlete, you look at his vertical threat ability. I mean, I honestly think this guy might make the team as, like, if we carry 7 receivers, Braylon Sanders is making the team. I honestly think if we carry 7, Braylon's making the team. I honestly think it is. Like, crazy. Crazy to me. I like the player. I like the pick. I think even if he gets onto the practice squad and he gets on, it'll be really interesting. So I think he's another guy where they develop him. I think you can have something. I think you can have something with Braylon. Next one, UDFA. Kadir Kahu. I actually like this. I looked into this kid a little bit, and I like what I see. I think this guy is a crazy punt returner when I looked into him. Now I ain't finding any all 22 on Texas A&M Commerce, but when I looked, and it's going to be quite the leap from him to go to there to the NFL. But as a punt returner, jeez, whoo! Like, as a punt returner, this kid was like crazy, man. This kid was crazy when I was looking as a punt returner. My God, Tony, I think we carried 7 receivers last year. When I looked at this guy, I was like, holy Jesus. Holy Jesus. I was shocked when I looked into this guy. I was absolutely stunned. His ability, I don't think he's gonna be you know, I don't think he's gonna be a starting NFL corner. But I mean, he could be like a depth guy in the slot. I think he projects best in the slot. But man, whew, I was impressed with what I saw. So I'm gonna give him a C plus. Another receiver who I've actually watched, Tanner Connor. I had to give him I gave this pick a C plus. Personally, he's okay. I'm not sitting here like doing backflips over Tanner Connor. Had a decent season last year, over 700 yards, 4 touchdowns. The thing is, he's just a crazy combination of speed and athleticism. The guy's 6'3", 226, and he runs a 4.49, right? Because he's a former track star athlete. His acceleration is ridiculous. Like it's stupid. You see it when he strides into his routes in open space. You see it. And because he's so explosive and athletic as a runner, this guy cuts on a freaking dime and can separate off of, he can separate off of just a cut. Like we're talking like might be the quickest feet in the class type thing here. He's actually decent at the catch point too. He can get up there too because he's such an explosive athlete. So obviously, route trees has, when you talk about running routes and nuances in running routes, this is as raw as it gets. So obviously coverages and leveraging against coverages and understanding how to attack and approach coverages needs to be cleaned up. Release package, he relies more on his speed and athleticism than actually, body twitch and, and establishing a good package at the line of scrimmage. That needs to be cleaned up. When you look at his height, weight, speed, and you combine that, man, if you can coach this kid up, I don't know what you have. But I expect him to start off this year on the practice squad. I really do. I'm not sitting here expecting, greatness out of him. I'm just not. It's just I think that would be a lot. I don't know how fair that would be, but when you look at you look at the athleticism of this kid, holy jeez. And then Bly's Andres out of Minnesota. A guy who's played right guard, right tackle, left tackle in Minnesota. Redshirted as a freshman. 6'6", 311. He he's a smart player. He's decent a run blocker. But this guy gets pushed on his heels a little too much in pass pro. I don't see anything more than a practice squad guy here when I look at him. I just don't think he has the anchor. I don't think he's got the power at the point of attack or the contact balance to make it at the NFL level. More so than a practice squad guy. So that's where I put Bly's Andres. Continuing on. And now I've lumped the next two groups. Jordan Williams, Ty Clare, DeAndre Johnson, Ben Style, Owen Carney. I haven't watched them yet. I'm going to give it a C. And C is just a incomplete over here. It's not bad. It's not good. I'm putting it right in the middle. Indifferent. C stands for indifferent in my grading system here. I haven't watched these guys. I've read up on them. I've got notes here on stuff I've read about them. You know what I mean? So, and I like what I hear, but I got to watch them, But Elijah Mitchell, apparently they're moving him to safety. No interceptions. He's 6'2", 4 passes defended in his career. You look at Jordan Williams. He played for Virginia Tech and Clemson. He played in 11 games last season, 6 starts at defensive tackle, had 28 tackles, including 3 for loss and 1.5 sacks. Before that, he played 3 seasons at Clemson, had 55 tackles, 9.5 for a loss, 4 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. I didn't watch DeAndre Johnson at UM, so you Kane fans will know him better than I do. But he had 26 tackles, including 8.5 for a loss and 4.5 sacks last year with the Canes. Before that, he played at Tennessee and had 10 sacks there. He actually took a prospect visit with us. So, and then Ty Clary, didn't watch him, a guy who plays guard and center. And then Ben Style, Owen Carney, didn't watch those guys either. But I do have lower grades for Elijah Hamilton and Tom Heatherly. And the reason why Elijah Hamilton has so a low grade is I mean, what was the point? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? He didn't earn nothing. And then Tommy Heatherly, really? Okay, I don't even care that he didn't take Matariza. I'm not even bitter. I'll get over it. But like, really, you know, you had a guy like, oh, you know, I don't know, Ryan Stonehouse was still out there. He signed as a UDFA with the Tennessee Titans. I would have taken Stonehouse as a UDFA over him. You know what I mean? So, do I think he's going to beat out Morstead? No, I don't. So, and I would have taken Ryan Stonehouse over him too. That's just what it is. So, and I believe Stonehouse signed with the Tennessee Titans. So, I would have taken. There's a UDFA, or I would have taken over Tommy Heatherly. So these are just, to me, these are throwaways. It's whatever. You know what I mean? So those are my grades for this draft class and this UDFA class. Overall, the UDFAs has some guys I'm really excited about, and as a draft class, you know, Erik Ezukanma, I'm really super excited from him. You know, I'm super excited for, you know, I'm excited for these guys. So I can't wait. You know what I mean? Channing Tindall, I'm super stoked to see him and how he does in year one. And then I'm excited to see how Kellen Deesh, Rowan McKinley, Braylon Sanders, Zakondre White, a couple of these guys compete in OTAs and training camp. I'm really excited. I just can't wait till ball gets here. I just can't wait. Just can't wait, man. So it's coming. So let's get into the media availabilities from yesterday. I got a couple of them I want to go over with you guys here. First things first, let's start off by the players. Listen to what the players said here, okay? So starting off with the players, let's start off with Channing Tindall, because I actually didn't look that over with you guys. So this is what Tindall had to say after he was drafted at 102.
Miami, man. You know, it was reported that you had a pre-draft visit with the Dolphins a couple of weeks ago. Just how was that? How did that visit go? And just did you leave with a sense that you might be coming back to Miami?
Nice to meet you, Daniel. But I did go down there, and when I went down there, it was I just loved the campus, like this facility they had there. I just really got in with the linebacker coach, just talked to the whole staff, and I just felt I felt like home, honestly, when I was there.
And what about what did you learn about this defense that you think will make you fit in so well?
The way they use their linebackers is different. They use their linebackers everywhere. They put them on the edge. Sometimes they put them on.
I'll answer that question for him. Kirby Smart basically copy and pasted the defense, ran at Alabama.
Put them at Mike, Will. Like they're very versatile, and I feel like I fit into that.
Got it. Thank you, and welcome again.
Thank you.
We're going to go to Alan next.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay. No, I said, hi, Channing. Welcome to the Dolphins, to South Florida, whenever you make your way down here. How much fun was it playing on that defense last year? And on the flip side of that, though, was there a little bit of, I don't know, concern of getting lost because there were so many like elite players? I mean, you guys had 5 players taken in the first round from just that one defense.
Man, it was so fun playing on that defense. Like, we just came in with the standard. All of those people are my brothers. We did these things called skull sessions in the beginning of the year, and then we were just talking about each other. Why not?
Skull sessions.
I can tell you about each and every one
from
of my
Stone
teammates.
Cold.
They can tell
The
you about
jacket
my
from
why.
Stone Cold,
and just that connection we had is something I'm going to miss. I'm sorry. What was that?
No, the other part of it, was there, I don't know if concern's the right word, but maybe like a worry that as a prospect heading into the draft, you can get lost a little bit playing around so many high profile prospects.
No, I didn't feel that way. I just felt like I'm a big believer in just like God's plan and like what comes is like supposed to happen, like when it comes. So I just put it all in God's hands and just hope for the best.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to Travis next from Dolphins.com.
Hey, what's up, Channing? Welcome to Miami, man. Speaking about that Georgia defense, I just wanted to ask you if you had like any memories about, the level of competition on that defense that you guys kind of endured all season. I'm sure you guys competed every single day. And how do you think that prepared you for the next level?
Just coming in there, it's very business-like at Georgia. So just coming in there and just seeing kind of like the culture that was already built there before I got there, and just like fall camp, like my first fall camp, I caught a full body cramp and I was looking at the ceiling like, wow, like this is college right there. So just with that, with the culture that was already built there and everything that was going on, like I just felt like it prepared me.
Thank you.
Go to JoeyShotz from the Palm Beach Post.
Hey, Channing, congratulations. It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well. I appreciate that.
Hey, I noticed in looking at your statistics that you made a big jump this year. An increase in tackles, an increase in tackles for loss, an increase in sacks. And without having watched all the games, can you kind of fill me in? What changed?
I just went with Coach Schumann, who was my position coach at Georgia. I just took extra time to watch film with him. I felt like I knew what I had to do. I was on a mission, like the entire season. Like before the season started, I was just on a mission. Like I have to get this done. And so I want to say the biggest thing is probably just my mindset. Like it's like my mindset was like do or die.
Daniel?
Oh, no, sorry. I don't have another question.
Marcel from ESPN.
Where you at, Daniel? Come on, bud.
Hey, what's up, Channing? Congrats on being drafted. Welcome to Miami. Weather's great. I'm sure you'll love it down here. But I'm curious, what was your conversation like with Coach McDaniel and all the coaches that you met during your visit and on this phone call? What did they like about you? What was their interest in what you bring to the field?
They like me from my versatility, and I feel like that's the reason why. But right now, that's the main reason. Just everything where, like I was saying earlier, like just where they put their linebackers at, just Miami, just as a whole, like where they put their linebackers do it all. So I feel like I fit into that.
Got it. Appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
David Frones from the Sun Sentinel.
Hey, Channing, welcome again to Miami. And that pre-draft visit wasn't the first time you had come to Miami. You played at Hard Rock Stadium in the Orange Bowl, the college football playoff semifinal, when against Michigan. What were your impressions of playing in that stadium? What do you think it'll be like playing there as a pro?
It was a beautiful stadium. I want to say I'm from South Carolina and it's humid down here too. But during pregame, it was very humid that day. Before we went out,
You gotta get used to it,
field,
Channing.
like just,
you gotta get used to it, bud.
From then, as the game continued and everything, you can look up. It's outside, but it's in a dome. It's just very beautiful.
Ruthie Polinsky, NBC6.
Hi, Channing. Congratulations. I'm a Michigan grad, so we don't have to talk about that. But I'm just curious where you are, who are you with, and what was your reaction when you got the call tonight?
I'm just with my close friends and family. So my mother, my cousins, my best friends, they're all here right now. Real exclusive, and they're all really happy. Very emotional day.
Hal Habib, Palm Beach Post.
Channing, you can never hear welcome
Look
too
at
many times.
Hal kills
so
me every time.
I'll say welcome once more.
Hal kills me every time, this guy.
A few minutes ago, you mentioned that going into the season, you were on a mission and you had to get this done. what exactly was your goal? Was it to be drafted like you are tonight? Was it to earn a starting job, or was it something else?
I felt like the biggest thing is I wanted to be the best version of me, and I knew I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of me. So when it came down to it, I was like, this season, like, I can't just wait. Like, it needs to happen now to be the best version of me, and I need to keep continuing on it. Like, what am I waiting for? Pausing on it. Like, we all say that, know what we need to do better, or like, from a standpoint of know what it is that you have to do to be better, or like work hard. And that this season was what, like, my year, where I was just like, from here on out, like, the sky is the limit. Like, I'm trying to go as high as I can. Anything I do, just even outside of football.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Alan?
Hi, Channing. I'm curious.
And it's been a long time ago. We all been pretty cool though.
Got it. Last quick thing from me here. Were you named after anybody?
I was named after my father's best friend that served in the military, who died.
We care about these guys who
Thank you.
named after.
Joe?
Like,
Reason Alan was asking you is probably because there was a Dolphins middle linebacker named Channing Crowder. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He played at the University of Florida.
just ask him if
and
he's
the
named after
Dolphins,
Channing
so
Crowder.
it's nice to have
Like,
another Channing
seriously?
capable of playing in the middle.
Okay, yeah.
Now you know. Now you know.
Just ask him if
Hey, I
he's
saw you
named.
ran a 4.47, but I also have read you described as tough. And so tell me about how you're able to
You know what's
approach
crazy? None of these guys have watched them.
both
Oh, I know
a
Omar
speed
Kelly's watched them.
mindset and
None of these guys have watched
mindset. Tell me about that.
Unreal.
Well, I feel like they go hand in hand, especially with being a linebacker. Like, I feel like every good linebacker, they running, any linebacker, honestly, in the
I'm about to
league,
go
they
off here in
running
a sec.
fast, they hitting. So like, just
Stick
come with
around.
speed. You ready to hit something? You got to be tough to play linebacker. You cannot be a linebacker and not be tough.
All right. See, that's the problem with our media. Okay, you guys can feel what you want to feel about Omar Kelly, and and Travis Wingfield, whatever. That's up to you guys. Okay, but at least they watch some of these players before they come out. Like, you think Joe Shad watches anyone? You think Hal Habib watches anyone? You think Elaine Park? You think these guys actually watch anyone? So they know nothing about these players before they come out, and they're asking dumb names. Like, where's an insightful question about performance they had in a game or something they did in a game that popped off the film to you? Nothing like that, man. Nothing like that at all. Just, whoa, who are you named after? And then even when you ask them who they're named after, you don't even be direct with them. Instead of saying, hey, any chance are you named after former linebacker for the Miami Dolphins, Channing Crowder? Whoa, these people are like, man, you waste these kids' time. You waste our time. You don't ask any freaking good questions. You don't ask any intelligent questions. People can hate on Omar all they want. I like the guy. He's great to me. He's nice to me. And I think he does a damn good job. At least he puts in some work, though. These guys don't put in work. I know Omar watches tape. I know Travis watches tape. Now, we may not agree with what some of these guys see on tape, but at least they freaking try. Bro, the effort is so lackadaisical. It's unbelievable. You don't even ask these kids any good questions, man. These guys better be, I see some of y'all scurrying out of Twitter spaces when I come in because everyone introduces me and the big boy comes to play. And you get the boogeyman syndrome when I come. Oh my God, someone who actually knows what he's talking about and knows how to watch film and knows how to report on this team properly. Oh, y'all better count your blessings every day you live in Miami without me living down there. Okay, 'cause y'all think I'm doing it well now? Imagine if I lived in Miami. All right? Kevin Costner Untouchables type stuff over there, bro. Unreal when I watch this stuff. Stupid questions. Unbelievable. Ridiculous, man. And I'm not lumping Daniel and David into that. I'm talking about these older cats, like the Shads, the Pards. I'm talking about all of y'all. Okay? When you're talking about those old heads, Barry Jackson's the only one that's good at his job. Because I don't consider Omar an old head. Those old heads, Barry's the only good one out of them. The rest of them, why bother, man? You guys just come in for the freaking paycheck. All right, next. Let's get into our wide receiver edition here. And then we're going to go over what Grier and McDaniel said.
Congratulations and welcome to Miami. Just first wanted to
Yes,
ask how much, conversations did you have with the Dolphins in the pre-draft process, and did you get a feeling that you might be picked
Erik
by them?
Ezukanma.
Throughout the process, Miami did show a lot of interest, and I had a formal with them at the NFL Combine, and that's where I got this hat.
Attaboy.
And, they just showed love throughout the process, and for them to pick a spot with me, it was big.
Love it.
Mark Stallworth.
Hey, Erik, welcome to Miami. My question to you is, how does it feel coming to Miami with a loaded wide receiver group, such as Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, to learn from them for your first year and working with the wide receiver group?
Good question.
It's going to be a big opportunity. You got a guy like Tyreek Hill who's done it for a long time. And
let's go.
Jalen Waddle being a rookie last year and putting the numbers he put up, it's going to be a great opportunity to learn from them and, take notes and, learn from Wes as well, him being able to coach the guys up and just take a lot in, be a sponge and take a lot of notes and watch a lot of film.
Coachable. Love it.
Hal Habib, Palm Beach Post.
Hi, Erik. I wanted to ask you a little bit more. You just mentioned Wes Welker. How much contact have you had with him? How familiar are you with his background?
He's a Red Raider. He's Red Raider blood, just like me. So a lot of contact throughout the process, and with Wes
And that's me
Welker,
shaking my head at the
taking
question.
a chance
You
on
didn't
me
know he's a Red Raider?
and Miami franchise.
Jesus.
I appreciate them so much, and I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I'm ready just to work.
How do you describe your style?
Play style.
Yes.
I'm a versatile guy. I feel like I can fit in right where Jalen Waddle, the way he can take the ball out of the backfield as well as be the deep threat down the field, but also just a versatile guy with rack ability, yak ability, yards after contact, and run after the catch.
Yeah.
You can put me anywhere on the field, and I feel like I can help the team in any situation.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Travis from Dolphins.com.
Hey, Erik, nice to meet you, man. Welcome to Miami. I saw that you were a captain as a true freshman there at Texas Tech. Just wanted to ask you about the importance of kind of the leadership role and being a good locker room guy.
Man, the locker room's everything because that's really where the team, collaborates and, works together, outside of the coaches. And, you want to be a player-led program. You want guys in the locker room to uplift each other, not be, one of those guys that, bring each other down.
Thank God, Brian Flores. You never met Brian Flores.
I learn my role, with, the team and, as I gradually, get up in the ranks, earn my respect, I feel like I can hop into that leadership role.
Here we go.
Joe Shad, Palm Beach Post.
Here's Joe Shad. Watch
hey,
this
Erik,
question.
it's nice to meet you. Forgive me for not knowing this, but how much special teams, if at all, have you played over your
Look
career?
at
in
no
college?
research whatsoever.
Yes, sir.
You had all
I did
this time.
a lot of front line kickoff return. I was blocking a lot in the front line, either in the center or the edge. I did a lot of gunner as well. Also kind of kick off the edge guy at number 9 or 10, coming off the edge, being the fold player.
I always wonder what it would like to be a gunner. When you did that, what was your approach?
It's kind of just like being a receiver, getting off the line and running as fast as you can down the field, before the punt returner catches the ball. So, that if, that's what they need me to do, I'll do whatever it takes to make it on the roster.
Thanks.
David Furones on Sentinel.
Hey, Erik, I saw you're 6'2", bigger receiver, bigger body. What do you think about your ability to make contested catches? Is that an area that you like about your game?
Yeah, that's one of my strong suits. I feel like
All you gotta do
throughout
is
my
watch the
career,
guy.
I've really worked on contested catches, bang bang plays. I feel like in the beginning of my career at Tech, that was one of the places I struggled at.
He's
but
gotten
I
better every
gained,
year at
more
50-50
confidence with
balls,
that,
man.
and just getting bigger in the weight room, buying into the weight room, and being able to make those contested catches, even if a defender's on my back or hitting me at the same time. So I feel like that's one of my high points.
He's definitely gotten better. Yeah.
Travis.
Hey, Erik, it's me again. I wanted to ask you about your earlier days, one of 7 children, a single mother, and kind of supporting you guys as a nurse. Just wanted to ask you about the impact your mom had in your life.
Man, she's really the reason I'm sitting right here today. I really believe that because, I watched her grind every day, working nights, 5 to 7 a.m. in the morning, and then going right back to it. And growing up, I had to grow up fast. Being older brother and little brother at the same time, I had to, get them out of the house to go to school, and I also had to go to school myself. So it was just, man, growing up really fast.
Mature,
and I feel
it.
like
Now
without
you know
her,
why he's
I
a
couldn't
leader.
have watched her work ethic and watch her grind.
Now you know
And
why
I
he's a
feel like,
leader.
all that grinding, just instilled in me. And I feel like obviously that's why I'm here right now.
Daniel.
Hey, Erik, I have to ask just because of the last name. Is there any African heritage or descent in there? Just curious. I'm Nigerian myself, so I had to ask.
Nigerian, yes, sir. I'm Nigerian. I've never been to Nigeria, so I hope to make that trip out there.
Nice connection
I have
for
a
him
lot
and
of
Daniel.
siblings,
That's
so
awesome.
My mom really hasn't been able to get us out there, but definitely want to get out there and
That's cool.
Get with some relatives.
Awesome. That's good to hear, man.
You'll be able to afford it, hopefully, when you
No?
make the team, baby. Let's go.
Dolphins had a Nigerian running back who was really good not too long ago. His name was Jay Ajayi. Yeah, you know that guy. He was good. I wanted to ask you about Coach Mike McDaniel. We're all enjoying getting to know him. I'm wondering what your impressions of this guy was when you talked to him.
Man, great guy. I feel like I haven't really got to know him yet, and I want to really get to know him.
I like Erik
Ezukanma.
I think this guy is, as a person, is awesome.
Learn from him, ask him a lot of questions, get with the staff and really just have them pour into me and be that guy that they can trust.
One more. I found your logo on the interweb.
The interweb.
EE with the lightning bolt.
You just couldn't say the internet.
Did you choose the lightning bolt? Was that your design, and if so, why?
The lightning bolt is also considered a Z in the logo, EZE.
Oh.
But the lightning, so the lightning bolt is basically just to express my speed, my how explosive I am, the way I play ball, just representation of me and the way I play. But just a little cool design that I thought it was nice. And, we put it on some t-shirts and a beanie. So
I like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Al.
Erik, I have to ask you about your connections to Patrick Mahomes. I believe you trained with him and maybe received some words of encouragement, advice. What can you tell us about that?
It was a cool experience. I went out to the place he works out at, and we worked out twice actually.
Awesome.
And the first time I went over there and we worked out, he was very encouraging, and he was just letting me know, the grind doesn't stop here. So basically, you're gonna get drafted, and then you're gonna be grinding till next off season. And with that, you got to stay hungry and be the first one into the film room and have a note and pen. Whenever you're, learning anything, and just be a sponge throughout the process, because, they're
Erik
looking for that, and they want to see,
coachable.
you be the first in line in every situation.
We have time for one more question. We're going to go to Ruthie Polinsky. from NBC6.
Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma.
Hi, Erik. Congratulations. I wanted to ask you, what excites you specifically about getting to know and getting to play with Tua Tagovailoa?
Let's go.
You know, I've watched Tua in the national championship, you know, when I was a kid,
Let's
just
go.
a couple years ago, just, you know, hoping to be in that, you know, same situation as him. And, you know, to watch him grow in the NFL and, you know, learn, obviously, it's going to be experience. And I want to come in and get with him as soon as possible, you know, run as many routes as he wants me to run, you know, just to get that chemistry
Go.
going.
We're gonna get you a performer.
Get that
We're gonna get you a
friendship
perform, baby. Don't worry. We get you locked in with Nick Hicks. Hit me up. Erik Ezukanma, hit me up. I'll get you locked in right now. Let's go. I like it, man. Big fan of that kid. High character, high leader. Man, he gets refined as a route runner. You got something there, man. You have got something. Trust me. And then I wanted to look at Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel. Then I got a few things, notes I want to go over with you guys. I want to look at a video of Tua Tagovailoa along with the letter Perform put out. And then I want to look at a tweet that came out today that's very, very interesting regarding potential free agent acquisitions for the Miami Dolphins. So let's start off with Grier and Mike McDaniel. Let's get that rolling back.
Yeah. It's pretty cold. Chris is ice in his veins, so didn't bother him. But I freeze out.
What was it like for you, Mike? First draft as a Miami Dolphin.
Well, it was fun. It was an exercise in patience, but I think it was an exercise in patience and virtue. You know, pumped about the players that we added, so that was fun.
Sounds tired.
Enjoyed that.
Yeah, I was the closer kind of, so he had the hard work of the opener and the. But yeah, that was fun. It's a special moment for a lot of people, and you can hear it in the background, especially. So it's a cool thing to be a part of.
So I guess starting with today, you know, you got 3 picks and you start off getting Erik, a wide receiver. Wide receiver probably wasn't at the top.
Didn't say his last name.
Case of best player available.
Come on.
What did you see with him and his fit here?
Yeah, I think, you know, with us, we always go down the board. We always talk about looking at the best players available. So we got to that pick, and he was a player we had talked about. We visited with him, spent some time. Wes worked him out, went there, and he was on Mike from day one about getting a Red Raider receiver in here. So we dealt with Wes all spring, talking him up. But he did it. We had a good workout with him. We did a private workout with him as well, and did a nice job for us. So we got to know him, and he was the kind of player that fit our profile for what we were looking for. Mm-hmm. So good kid, tough, catches the ball well. He blocks, run after catch or things. So when he was there, and if we looked at the board, we said we had to take him.
And a few months ago, you would add competition at center for Michael Dieter. Obviously, you don't come away with any offensive lineman. Was that just a matter of how the board
you weren't awake
shook
before,
out?
you are
Did
now.
you try to trade up, trade back, or just can you kind of walk me through not coming out with the offensive lineman?
Yeah, we wanted competition at every position, and we do have some competition with the offensive line group. It's as we've gone through here in the spring, and Mike and the coaching staff have been very excited about the group, and that's been the fun part about working with these guys here. As they've talked about it all spring and of getting on the field with them recently, they're really excited about it. So with us, all through the draft, we try and look at every position, but we follow our board. We don't reach for people. And, we did try and move up a couple times, but, we had limited resources in terms of being able to move around. But as we said before, just because the draft's over doesn't mean we're going to stop looking to improve the roster. So we'll keep working through that all spring and through the summer.
Playing now for backup center.
Bro, this
might try some other guys.
Fix that.
Yeah.
It's important for a team that you're a combination of players working together, and so you give everyone an opportunity.
You got headphones on. Jesus.
That you think's fit, and we have some good young competition that we feel good about, and you're trying people at different avenues, really just to put people in the best position they can be to be successful. And you can't force the market, whether it's a draft or free agency. You do what you're most comfortable with for the team. That's what we've continued to do, and moving forward, if the opportunity presents itself, we'll jump on it. But right now, we're just we have a group of guys that are all in, trying to learn a new system and get better every day, and that's what we're most concerned with moving forward.
You mentioned, I think it was last year, the week before, that the offensive line group in this draft stood out to you. I was wondering if there was a point in this draft where you were trying to trade up for an offensive lineman and the board just didn't fall right, or you didn't have the resources to do so?
Yeah, we were looking, but we're happy with the players we got. But yeah, there were opportunities where we made calls and tried to get some deals done, but sometimes the ball bounces that way. So for us, Mike was antsy a couple times, so we were on the phone and we were joking about how no one wanted to do business with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, and you really want to just make sure that at the end of the day,
everyone's worried
you have
how
4
good
draft
we are.
picks. So
They don't want to give us more help.
You're going
Everyone's
into
on notice, baby.
both days or really all 3 days of the draft, saying, you know what, we want to make our team better as best we can, and you want to feel good about the players that you add and the players that, there's a lot of people that are on the field, a lot of positions to fill, but bottom line is we need some Miami Dolphins that our locker room can embrace and that can make the players that we have better and make the team better, and that's what we did. We feel great about that.
So on the quarterback, if Chris and then Mike, if you guys can each talk about what interested you in the quarterback, what you thought was appealing about him.
Yeah, I think going through the process here, we've all kind of seen him over the years, there, because it seems like every year Kansas State pulls a big upset over someone, and he has a game that people end up talking about. So he's a competitive kid, that smart, tough, he's got some athletic ability. So I always appreciate how he played, and then how their coaches and people around him talked about the character and the person. It was always intriguing, and we got to the point here at the end where, there's a guy that has some potential to develop, as a quarterback, and has some upside. So we're excited, and the coaching staff and Mike, I'll let him speak on them, but they, followed suit with their work.
No, you're excited when you turn on the tape and you see a guy with passion play the position of quarterback. That's really, you could feel how his command and his competitiveness, and that's something that only the entire team benefits from, because you're touching the ball all the time, you're making decisions. So felt good about that opportunity. I just really liked the way he played the game and how competitive he was, and I think everyone will be excited that we add another competitor to the team and move forward in that way. Skylar by far had the best audience too around him. They were all great, but I think he had like several people screaming in his ear into the phone because it was that loud. So got a lot of people excited about it.
Mike, wanted your evaluation of Erik Ezukanma, wide receiver. Your evaluation of Erik Ezukanma, the wide receiver in the 4th round.
Well, thought he'd be a really good guy to draft. Chris agreed, so we drafted him. It was the cool part about Erik is that that he competes, and he does it. We've talked about it at length. Wes, I know Wes believes it, and a lot of the receivers in the room are starting to understand it. But you can really dictate the toughness and physicality of a team with how guys go about their business. That's one unique thing I think we have, is that however fast they are, all of our receivers compete and play tough, and that's watching Erik do something similar in a completely different body type. It was exciting to watch him play, and I think he fits kind of the energy and
he's
and the skill
wide
level that
receiver
we're
5,
looking
year
for. We
one.
want guys to be fast or play fast, and doing both with decisiveness and a team first passion that he bleeds. So excited at him. That was the biggest thing. I saw a football player playing the receiver position.
Mike, the roster, the day you were hired and the roster today are markedly different. I'm wondering if you could compare the two, maybe talk about how much better you feel about the players you have. And Chris, if you could chime in as well.
It's exciting, but you're not sure. I'd like to think that Chris thinks that I'm a pretty good coach, but then he was aggressively adding a lot of really good players. So he recognized that a good coach needs help. He needs good players. It's a collective. I'm not sure if it was a compliment or if he was like saying, "Hey, dude, you need some help." But regardless, the end result, I feel very good. Just about the whole team. It's not just about the guys that we added. It's about a collective group of people. Whether you're in your first year or you've been a Miami Dolphin for 2 or 3 years.
Love it.
You want people to all agree on the front end to say, hey, you know what, we're ready to do something together and fully commit to it. And I think that's what I'm most excited about, because when I first got here, we didn't even have a team meeting. I was individually meeting people that were maybe two or three guys a day, and then the rest were FaceTime and phone calls. Now we have the energy of a full nucleus, and I know one thing: we have a group of guys that with these college guys now joining that are committed to trying to win football games, and that's what's the best part about the roster now.
Chris, you were asked about center. I'm curious about the running back position. Obviously, you have quality running backs on the roster, but I'm curious if there was a running back or two
Here we
that
go.
you and Mike and the other coaches sort of liked in that 3rd or 4th round.
Here we go.
range
Listen.
That would have been an option had it broken a little differently.
Yeah, there was one guy that we kind of targeted a little bit, and Mike fell out of his chair when he got picked by somebody.
No, I mean, I was composed. I was a professional. I was convinced I was internalizing it all.
The Niners got it back, right? Was it Arizona State?
The Niners drafted a running back?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We were pretty focused on our we were focused on our 4 picks.
Yeah, we're just focused on our guys.
Yeah.
Okay, the running back that I've heard is Rachaad White. I originally thought it was either Rashad or Pierre Strong Jr., but I was told, and even Simon Clancy from 3 yards per carry, he must have been told the same thing. It was Rachaad White. That's the name I was told. That's the name I get. Other people are being told clearly. Apparently, it was Rachaad White was the running back at 102 potentially that they were looking at. So it was Rachaad White. It wasn't Isaiah Spiller. For all of you guys saying it wasn't Spiller. So it was actually Rachaad White, my man crush, which is kind of crazy. So
I like the In-N-Out Las Vegas shirt too, Al.
Purely coincidental.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Confirmed.
I think it's overrated. Thank you. I think it's overrated.
now they're talking about In-N-Out.
I'm sorry.
Mike, in and out. He said confirmed.
I guess organizationally,
It
are we
was not
saying that
James
it's
Cook.
overrated? I mean,
it was Arizona State. It was Rashad
there's been
who
some
went
heavy
to the Bucs.
debate. We haven't made our burger draft pick yet, though, so we still at least have a half an hour on the clock for that.
Did you guys have any HBCU targets that you wanted to bring in during unrestricted free agency or after this draft, unsigned free agents?
Yeah, there are plenty of good good players in college football. They come from all different conferences. Really, there's but that's competitive as well. You know, it's just like the draft. There's a lot of players we feel good about that we would add on our team that we don't get the opportunity to because of the competitive nature of, you know, the selection process and undrafted free agency. So, yes, there's plenty of players we evaluated, several of which we had high on our board.
Mike, how are you feeling now that the draft process is over as a head coach? Just how are you feeling? How was this process for you?
Sounds like he's tired.
I'm
This is the
feeling
first
like
time I could ever say he sounds tired.
I feel like there's been a lot of work done, but nothing's been done. If that makes sense, you know, you're right. You're in the natural process of at least for a little portion of the calendar of the year, you can be focused on specifically one thing, and that's practicing football and getting better at that. So that's I guess relieving, but it's just a transfer of focus. So it's a cool part of the process. It was fun. I imagine it. You know, the first night will be a little more climactic in the year's future.
Yeah. Next year, maybe.
That was nice to get my feet wet by doing nothing. But it was fun. I was very happy with our draft picks actually on our first day this year. I just got to watch them practice for the last couple of weeks, right? And Tyreek, so that was good. We felt good about that one. But yeah, excited to move forward, and I think a lot of people in the building are too.
I'm guessing you guys will have a large undrafted free agency class to get into now.
Yeah, we think so. We're in the process of working through that here as the draft ends. But yeah, we'll be signing players like always, and
can't wait for
getting ready for the
rookie
rookie
minicamp. Let's go.
That you don't have that many draft picks with the undrafted rookies, or is that really just a situation that comes down to money and what you guarantee?
It's a combination of both. You know, I think it does help because, you know, some teams have had, you know, 8, 9, 10 players added at positions where with us it gives you a little more space and room for opportunities where kids will look for opportunities with agents. But end of the day, the good players that are left, they're people, it always gets very competitive with the money. So.
This is your guys' first time in this process together, working, you know, through the draft, through free agency. I was just curious if you guys learned anything from each other throughout the course of this process the first time around.
I learned he likes sushi.
He's a tough guy to compete with.
Crushing sushi on Thursday night.
and he's a tough guy to compete with cherry Pepsi consumption. I tried to go bottle for bottle with him, and I couldn't keep up. I really couldn't. So that was humbling, I guess. But you know, it's been great. It's been you're excited to get involved in the process, and it's felt like we've worked together for a long time. You know, to the point that I feel like Chris might. Sometimes he looks at me and he's like, "We've worked together a long time. I'm kind of sick of you at this point," which I think is good for everyone.
No, it's been good. It's been good. We've had. It's been good. Even when we've disagreed on players, we spend time watching the players and talking through why, and talking with the coaching staff.
I love it.
So it's been a good process. It's been fun.
Even when they disagree, they talk
for
it
everybody,
through.
It's been enjoyable.
You know what
Scouts,
Forbes was saying? I want your job. Get out of my
coaches that have,
office.
Mike has hired come in and said they've enjoyed this process. It's just been
they
different.
Have good chemistry.
The openness, communication, just from other places they've been coming in here. So it's been fun, and we feel good about the process, but still work to be done.
Did you end up watching any Tyreek highlights night one?
No, we didn't.
Practice
film we actually did.
Yeah.
Thursday, yes. Practice Thursday. We did Thursday during practice, yes.
Honestly, man, the chemistry they have. Like, look at Grier. Like how like, you know, even Grier, we talk about the players seem like more open and natural. Look at how open and natural Grier looks right now. Even Grier, like, you know, how much did you hear him laugh through that whole interview? Like, even Grier seems like a totally different guy. Like, it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool stuff. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. Over 520 of you in the room right now. We ain't done. Let's go check this Tua video. Shout out to the homies at Perform. They did it right, and we're gonna do it right this time. I'm gonna make sure y'all don't miss a minute. I'm gonna full screen it for y'all too. Let's fire that up right now. Let's fire this up. Oh, what the difference a year can make. And then I got something from Perform I want to read. Okay, so what you're gonna see is April 1st, 2021. Right. So let's see. This is gonna be basically you're gonna see the growth from a year, April last year to where he is now. All right. You know, look at there's not a lot of torque on that football. There's not a lot of, you know, look at the ball. It kind of look at how it dips down and it's dying at the end there. Watch, look at how the ball's sinking when it gets to the end of the target point. Right, it's just not as like you don't have the upper body torque. Now look. Way sharper. The footwork's cleaner. Look at the ball's coming out sharper. Mechanics are cleaner and crisper. Look at not a ton of arc on that football. Spot on. Look at the footwork at the back. Boom. Beautiful stuff. Look at just torque on the shorter throws is better. Look at
a strong
throw.
throw.
That was 40 yards.
Hip. Yes, sir. Good. Rip that hip.
That's Nick talking, by the way. Look at this.
Good belly. Ball.
Bomb. What a dime. That's my quarterback at the end there, baby. I'm going to show that one more time because that's the man right there. That's my guy. Look at this.
Look at that. On the game.
That a boy. Put it in his veins. He even did the injected in my veins. But one more time so you guys can get a feel for it. Yeah, the balls are more. There's more torque, so you're not seeing dip on the balls. They're not dying at the end of their trajectory, right? You're seeing more torque. That's the noticeable thing about the ball. Look, there's just more torque on them now. Look, it's just more torque. None of that low dip at the end. Boom, money. Money in the bank, shorty, what you drank. Woo! Ready? Look at it. See? We're on the money, not dipping, not dying at the end.
A strong throw.
Yeah, that was 40 yards, by the way.
Yes, sir. Good. Rip that hip.
Look at it. It's just about consistency. Right now, it's reps and getting the mechanics where they wanted to, and just consistency. Reps. Look at this. This thing is a piece of art.
Look at that. On the game.
Woo! Pump it in my veins, he says. Let's go. That's my quarterback. QB1, baby. QB1. And then shout out to Nick Hicks and everyone at Perform. You know, they do an amazing job, and I've always had their back, and I will continue to always have their back. He put out this. He says, it's awesome to see changes in growth when you witness someone work so hard and want it so bad day in and day out. The first 4 clips are from a year ago with about a month of training when I first started working with Tua. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to play that, right? We'll do it after. The rest of the clips are from the end of the offseason before OTA started. To me, there are 2 different people in these videos. The first guy was still recovering from a horrific hip injury that was career-threatening, but knew that he needed to take the proper steps towards getting back to 100%, and there was no other way around it. Last offseason, we had to dedicate to his program to stability and strength. These steps we could not skip over. We couldn't just jump right into the type of skill training needed to become a successful quarterback. The reason we couldn't is because the last thing he needed was a setback with the hip. I'm a firm believer in doing things the right way, no matter how long it takes. And that's what we did. But this offseason was different, very different. He maintained the strength we developed last year, so it honestly got to hit the ground running. We attacked the weight room, changed his body composition. Remember I said they wanted to make him more leaner. What does he say? And added some lean muscle mass. See, I told you they wanted him to lean him out. We worked on his footwork and his ability to glide around in the pocket swiftly. We threw a lot every day, actually, on rhythm and off platform, long and short, with laces and without, and yes, cold and wet. And most of all, we had fun. It's a whole different environment when rehabbing an injury is behind you. You can finally get back to feeling normal again. Hell, not normal, but really better than ever. The offseason is not over and the work is not done yet. After OTAs, it's back to the grind. I can't wait. Man, I got the goosies. I got the goosies running up the spine right now. Let's go. QB1. All of you that doubted my head coach before and you made your lazy ass, he's Adam Gase. Cam Cameron, you made your whack, and you even tried to show your little clips on Twitter or YouTube to try and prove your invalid point. Y'all have been made to look like fools, just like the same class of people that are out here hating on my quarterback. You're next. Like Goldberg would say, you're next. All right? QB1, baby. Check your motherfucking pulse. All right. And finally here, Josh Mosier had an interesting tweet about an hour and a half ago. And he said, Drew Rosenhaus tells me that he had discussions with the Dolphins regarding both Carlos Dunlap and Akiem Hicks. Dolphins have roughly $20 million left in cap space for 2022, and they're actually going to be talking about it more tonight on 7 Sports Extra. I mean, hello. I'm down for Akiem Hicks added to this. Are you kidding me? Ooh. I mean, I'd be down for Carlos Dunlap, don't get me wrong, but Akiem Hicks, son, are you for real? I would be 110% down for either or player. Not even a question for me. The rotation, Akiem could play on the interior. Could play end, or you could stick him in at nose on a couple if you need him to. The versatility that guy has is just crazy, 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 man. So I would be down 100%. You want to go get Akiem Hicks? Listen, he's not 32 yet. Get him on a 1 year deal. All right. This is a guy who he stops the run, he plugs the run, and he offers you a pass rush. All right. We're talking about a guy who's had 8 and 9 sack seasons. All right. So, I mean, I'm down. Akiem Hicks, I'm down. Carlos Dunlap, I would be just as down. Well, I mean, I'd want Hicks a little bit more than Dunlap, but you want to go at Dunlap? I ain't going to stop you. Again, another guy who's stout against the run and offers you a pretty good pass rush. So we're talking about a guy who had 2015 had a 15 sack season. So I am down for Carlos Dunlap. I am down for Akiem Hicks. I like it. I like it a lot. That is very, very encouraging to see that they look and intend to make some smart moves with the money that they have in place. I still think Melvin Ingram is in play. Oh, what up, Sean? How you doing, Sean? I see you. It says Carlo Dunlap is my cousin on my mother's side. That's pretty sweet, bro. That's pretty sweet. I'd be down for him in a second. Either or, really. All right. So, I'm down. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I think that's they continue to look to make smart moves, and even the whispers I hear are impressive of the moves they didn't make, but the whispers they look to make. Guys, it was an exciting, even though it was slow at times, draft season is always my favorite season. It was exciting, like the fall of Malik, all the trades we saw, especially in the first round. You got to appreciate the foresight of this coaching staff and this management team that, if they wouldn't have made that Tyreek move, guys, and there wasn't a better player at 29 or 50, there wasn't a better player in this draft than Tyreek Hill. We wouldn't have had the capital to go get Hollywood Brown. and we'd all take Tyreek over Hollywood. We wouldn't have had the capital to go get A.J. Brown. Remember, because both teams offered first-round picks at a higher number than we did, right? They were all higher picks in the first than what ours was. So even the backups to Tyreek, we wouldn't have been able to get. You know what I mean? So you got to give props. You got to give respect to this coaching staff, man. It's and also to Chris Grier and the management and the way they've structured their contracts. It's just been an absolute beautiful thing to witness, man. They continue to make good moves. I told y'all I didn't think. Would I be shocked if they would have traded for Debo? No, but I told y'all I've stayed pretty firm. If that Debo is going to happen, I think it happens next offseason. I don't think it happens this offseason. Obviously, they didn't make a trade. I know the Jets turned down a package involving the 10th overall pick for Debo. The Jets turned it down. The market is just thinning on where Debo is right now. I mean, a lot of the teams that wanted him, they filled needs in the draft. So it's more and more playing into our favor where he might get stuck in San Francisco for another year, won't sign that franchise tag, and they move him next offseason or they let him walk. So we'll see, because I don't have an idea yet of what the franchise tag is going. Let me look here quickly if I can. I don't think the numbers are out yet on what the receiver franchise tag is going to be. There is a projected. The projected franchise tag next year for a receiver is just over $20 million. It's $20.026 million. So if his production dips, if he's disgruntled and, they don't enjoy having him around in the locker room, do you guys really see them ponying up a $20 million franchise tag? Florida Born says $10 Rolex wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, having a hard time holding these Gators down. That's my QB Tua. Appreciate you, man. That's hilarious. And also I got a couple of PayPal donations. Shout out to Memes for the Mems for the $10 donation, and then shout out to Fake Spike. He says, here's $30. Put it towards your girl's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. Much love. I will. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Fake Spike. I'm gonna even go up and tell my wife that and stuff too. That was very kind of you, my friend. I will put that towards Chuck E. Cheese. We're gonna buy a couple cheese pizzas on you, brother. You already know what time it is. All right, guys. Here's the deal. I think I'm gonna be back on Tuesday. I'm probably gonna try and drop that first prospect profile video on Tuesday. I'm going to dive into Channing Tindall prospect profile on Tuesday. That's the goal. And then there's going to be a couple other people. I got a couple things I'm working on this week. So we're going to start getting the prospect profiles this week. I'm going to try and get Channing Tindall done. And then I'm also going to get Erik Ezukanma done this week too. So look out for those two prospect profiles. There's going to be all 22 attached to them, as well as more in-depth scouting evaluations than what I've given to them, because I give you just a mini flavor on Channing Tindall last time. So we're going to take care of that. We got a lot of stuff coming. I'm going to have some people on this week, some draft heads to talk about the draft, how it went, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be an informative and a big week on Phinside the NFL. All right? You already know what time it is, baby. So I will see y'all most likely on Tuesday. If something breaks tomorrow, I'll be back. But look for me on Tuesday night. Until then, you already know what time it is, baby. Fins up all day, every day. And I believe the Heat play tomorrow night for y'all, so enjoy that. All right? I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Until then, you already know what time it is. Fins up all day, every day, baby. Stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed, people.